All feeling today? All good? Good. Heather, we did the feet class this morning.
Oh,
I'll
I'm
put
sorry
it.
I missed it.
No, don't worry, don't be. I'll put it on the main gallery, um, and I'll share on the Facebook group. Okay, everyone. So for today's class, I'm gonna try to do a little bit more of a flow vinyasa class. Try not to stay too long in poses or whatever. So for today, I will highly encourage you to have one block with you, and you can have two of them if you prefer, so you can switch and swap on whatever side you are. Set it up perhaps at the front of your mat, and we shall see. Whenever you are ready, start laying down on your back. And yeah, so happy to have you all here. Take a nice inhale and a full exhale. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you like the level of the music. Oh wait, I haven't even shared it. Oh, can you hear the music? Great. It's not too loud. Oh, hi, Alex, mom. All right, everyone. Let us begin by acknowledging your body on the floor. Notice which parts of your body are against the floor and which aren't. Maybe your low back will not be touching the floor. The back of your arms, maybe. Start coordinating your breath with your movement, in which case right now your breath is your movement. Take one big inhale and let it all go on your own. Take an inhale on 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the bottom for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. At the bottom for 4, 3, 2, 1. One full inhale on your own. And exhale, let it all go. Start by wiggling your toes, your fingers, circling your wrists and your ankles. Bring your arms overhead beside your ears and take yourself in a nice long stretch on opposite sides on an inhale. And let it all go onto your exhale. 2 more times. Inhale, reach for opposite ends. Point your toes, touch, arch your back. Let it all go. Last time. Inhale, fake a yawn. Point your toes a lot. And on your exhale, bring your knees to your chest for a nice hug. Take any movements that you want. Rock from side to side, forward and back. Keep on acknowledging and coordinating your breath with your movements. Start making circles with your knees, whether they are both knees together or one knee on each arm. Find 3 circles in one direction. And 3 circles on the opposite direction. Remembering that this is your class, this is your body, and feel free to disregard of anything I do or say if it doesn't feel right on your body. Stretch your feet and your arms long to the corners of your mat into this starfish position. Take a nice inhale to reach and stretch again. And on your exhale, come to a fetal pose, elbows to knees on one side. Rolling onto your side. Both elbows close to both knees. We're going to go from one side to another. Inhale to reach for your starfish. Exhale to roll into the opposite side. Continue rolling from side to side on your own breath. If you can, make sure you move both arms and both legs at the same time. Every time you come to center, reaching even longer. Feel free to take wider space than the confines of your mat. A couple more times on each side, starting to pick up your tempo. Rolling from side to side. And next time you are on your right, push off the ground, find yourself into your tabletop. Find your tabletop in here, your neutral spine. And inhale for your cow. Melt your belly down. Exhale to scoop your belly, looking down for your cow. Inhale for your cow. Exhale for your cat. Continue going on your own breath. And eventually morph into whatever movements that you want to take. If you want to do circles with your chest, with your hips, figure 8, letter S, letter Z, by all means, whatever you need for your body today. Start making circles around your wrist, which it will ripple on circles on your whole body. And when you're ready, find your circles on the opposite direction. You get to choose how much pressure and how much intensity you want on those circles. Come back to neutral. And without doing the head of cat-cow, we will do the spine. Inhale and neutral. Exhale to puff your back for your cat spine. Inhale for bringing your shoulder blades together for your cow. Exhale to switch over. Inhale, come back down, shoulder blades together. Exhale, shoulder blades apart. Couple more times. Inhale together. Really squeeze those shoulder blades together. Exhale, find them far apart. One last thing in here. Come back to your neutral spine and reach your right arm towards the ceiling. And on an exhale, spread it underneath your left arm. Find your shoulder, your ear on the ground. Try to find your hips very neutral. Don't let them twist with your upper body. On your next inhale, come back to your center and settle on your exhale. Reach your left arm up to the ceiling on an inhale and exhale to thread underneath. Couple of breaths in here. On your next inhale, come back to your center. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up, find your downward facing dog. With whatever movements that you need in here, rock your hips from side to side, wiggle, bounce, hop, anything that you need. When you're ready, lift your heels a little bit, look forward and take tiny little steps to the front of your mat. And meet me on a passive forward fold. Bend your knees a lot. Rest your belly on your knees, on your thighs, and grab for opposite shoulders, elbows. Sorry. Let your head dangle. And very slowly start to roll yourself up for Tadasana. On an inhale, reach up to the ceiling. Exhale to hinge at your hips. Inhale, hands to your shins, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale to bring your hands to the floor, step into your plank. Inhale in here. Exhale to tap your knees down, lower yourself all the way to the ground. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale to come all the way down. Tuck your toes under, come through your tabletop into your downward facing dog. That was a modified flow. Please feel free to go back to that any given time that we do any flows. Inhale, look up, forward, lift your heels, bend your knees, and hop, step, or walk to the front of your mat. Roll all the way up. Inhale, reach your arms up to the ceiling. Exhale to hinge at your hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands on the floor, find your plank. Inhaling here, option to tap your knees down or not, find your way all the way to the ground. On the exhale, inhale, baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last one. Inhale, look up, heels up, bend your knees, and on empty, hop, step, or walk to the front of your mat. Right away on an inhale, roll yourself up for our last sun salutation. Inhale, reach towards the ceiling. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, drop, step, or walk to Chaturanga Dandasana or all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Open your feet a little bit wider than hip width distance. Bend your knees a lot and twist to one side. Bend your knees, lower your hips. Come to the center and twist to the other side. Come to the center, bend your knees a lot, hop, step, or walk to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to lower your hips, sit on your chair, and find Utkatasana, chair pose. Take a full inhale in here and a full exhale. Remembering that every time we inhale, we want to expand our body in a three-dimensional way. Every time we exhale, we compress and find depth. Inhale, reach your arms long and bring them to the floor. Take a big step with your right leg to the back, and tap your knee down for low lunge. Inhale, look up. Exhale, just for good measure, find your half splits, half Hanuman. Inhale, come back to your lunge. Extend your back leg as a little tripod kind of thing. Your toes are going to go to the side of the mat and eventually come all the way up. Bring your hands on a T position. You're going to inhale in center and exhale, tap your back hand to the mat. Inhale to center, tap your front hand to the mat. We're going to go a couple more times. Inhale, center, exhale, back hand. Use your obliques. Inhale, center, your intercostal muscles too. Couple more times. Inhale, go to the back. Inhale to come up. Go to the front and hold in here. Listen carefully. Your back leg is going to set up for warrior two. Find your high lunge, twisted lunge thing for warrior two. And when you're ready, come up there. Take a good inhale in here and settle on your exhale. Fun tip, if you relax your tailbone down, chances are that you're going to find a deeper lunge. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Exhale to warrior two. Inhale to reverse your warrior. This time stretch your front leg and tip forward for your Trikonasana, triangle pose. You can shorter your stand, heel toe your back foot for a little bit of a shorter triangle. Do stack your shoulders one on top of another. And we're gonna inhale and reach a little bit up to the ceiling and a little pulse. Exhale to come back to your triangle. Inhale, reach up, coming out of the triangle, going back. Inhale up, down, inhale up. This time come down, circle your top arm all the way down and around for your wide-legged forward fold. Engage your thighs a lot. Point your tailbone to the sky for an active version of your forward fold. Transfer your weight to the top of your toes, the tip of your toes. And you'll find a micro bend in your knees so that you can really tip that tailbone farther into the sky. Once you had enough of this, walk yourself to the front of your mat and find your plank. Take a full inhale in here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend at your knees, twist to one side. Come back to center, twist to the other side. Come back to center into your downward dog. Bend your knees a lot. Hop, step, or walk to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to sit your hips lower. Bring your arms and your upper body up for Utkatasana on the other side. Inching at your hips. Finding a little bit more depth in every exhale. Supporting your legs with your lower abs and your glutes. Reach front with your hands on an inhale. Bring your hands to the ground on an exhale. And step with your left to the back. Tap your knee down. Low lunge. Inhale, look up. Exhale, hinge at your hips for your half Hanuman, half splits. Come all the way back here. Extend your back leg into for your side bends on the other side. Bring your hands to a T-shaped position and inhale in center. Exhale, reach to the back and then tap down. Inhale to center. Reach to the front and tap forward. Inhale to center. Tap back. Inhale to center. Tap forward and stay here. Find that opening on your chest. When you're ready, set up your back leg for warrior two. Lift your knee off the ground and come all the way up. Ta-da, you're in warrior two. Relax your tailbone down. Make sure your toes, your front toes are pointing to the front of your mat and your front knee is not collapsing inwards. Inhale in here. Exhale and reverse your warrior. Inhale, come back to warrior two. And settle a little bit deeper. Inhale to reverse your warrior. Exhale to stretch your front knee and come all the way up and forward for your triangle pose Trikonasana. Once again, you can walk your back foot forward so that you're in a shorter stance. Remember, we can all reach to the ground in this one, but can you reach to the ceiling a little bit more? Oh yes, good job everyone. Inhale, come out of it a little bit. Exhale, come down to your triangle. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, come up. This time, exhale, come down. Circle your top arm down and around for your wide-legged forward fold on the other side. This time, make it a little bit more passive. Bring your toes a little bit farther in than your heels. You can bend your knees a lot and just let your head fall. Whatever movements you need in here with your hips, with your legs, with your toes. You can shake your head yes and no. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, come to the front of your mat and find your plank. Inhale in here. Exhale all the way down or halfway Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look front, lift your heels, bend your knees, and hop, step, or walk to the front of your mat. Inhale, roll all the way up, reach for the ceiling. Exhale, bring your hands in front of you, palms facing the ceiling. Bring your right arm underneath your left arm. Sit on your chair and bring your right leg crossed on top of your left leg for Garudasana, eagle pose. In here, bring your attention to your shoulder blades once again. Every time you inhale, your shoulder blades go apart. And every time you exhale, they come close together. There's always the option to be reaching for opposite shoulders instead of eagle arms. When you're ready, stretch your bottom leg, bring your right foot to hip height, and take a big step back for high lunge. Inhale, reach your arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, swing them front and back for runner's lunge. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, find yourself in a warrior two. Take a full inhale in here. Checking with your body, checking with your breath. Inhale, reach, stretch your legs and arms up. Exhale to find your lunge once again. A little bit deeper every time. Inhale to reach up, stretch everything. Exhale to find your warrior two. Last time, only the arms. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, tip forward into your what is it, side angle, I guess. If you are comfortable here, stay here. You always have the option to bring your left elbow onto your left knee for extended side angle. Either ways, make sure that your shoulders are one on top of another. Relax your tailbone. Find a deeper bend on your front leg. This time, bring your top arm to your hip. Look down towards the front of your mat. If your block is already there, great. If not, try to find your block and put it in front of you. Bend your back leg a little bit and reach for that block or the front of your mat for half moon. You can keep your arm on your hip or stretch it, reach to the ceiling. If you want a bigger challenge, try looking up to the ceiling. Really find the control on that supporting leg. Your quads, your hamstrings are active, supporting you. They're there for you. Take a nice inhale. On your exhale, bring your arm to the block or to the floor. Square your hips and find your standing splits. What's most important here is your hips nice and square rather than your leg higher. Take that halfway lift as deep as you can. Exhale, bend your bottom knee and eventually find yourself into that lunge. Tap your back knee down and walk your hands inside your feet for your lizard pose. You can stay on your hands or you can come all the way down to your forearms. Either stay here or let your leg roll out into your outer arch for a little bit of an opening of your hip. When you're ready, come back to center, come all the way up to your hands and walk your lizard leg to the middle of your back, split on the side of your hip. You're gonna reach that left arm to the side, and on an inhale, push from the ground and lift your hips up for a modified plank. On exhale, come back down. Let's try again. Inhale to push for a modified plank. Exhale, come down. Inhale to push. This time, come back to your plank. And downward facing dog. Take a nice inhale in here. Bend your knees on an exhale. Twist to one side. Inhale to center. Exhale to bend your knees. Twist to the other side. Inhale to center. Bend your knees, hop, step, or walk to the front of your mat. Roll all the way up on an inhale. And bring your hands in front of you, other side. Left arm underneath left elbow and sit on your chair. Either stay here or bring your left leg on top of your right leg for full expression of Garudasana Eagle Pose. Once again, with every inhale, notice how your shoulder blades go apart. And with every exhale, they come close together. Find a little bit more depth in every exhale. On your next inhale, bring that leg to hip height and take a big step back. for high lunge. Reach your arms up to the ceiling on an inhale. Exhale, swing them front and down for a runner's lunge. Inhale, come all the way up. Go into your warrior two. Notice where your hips are at. Your belly button is engaged towards your spine, finding a deeper connection towards the ground. Inhale, stretch your front leg, reach your arms up on an inhale. Exhale to come back to your warrior two. A little bit deeper. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, warrior two. This time only the arms. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to tip forward. Inhale in here. Either stay here or bring your right elbow to your right knee for extended side angle. Try to not to collapse on that shoulder. Long neck, a full diagonal from the top of your head to your back heel. On your next inhale, bring your top arm to your hip. Look down towards the front of your mat and find your half moon. You can reach for the floor, or you can lift a little bit off. Find a micro bend on your knee. Whenever you're ready, square your hips, bring that top arm down, and find your standing splits. If you want an extra challenge, you can always grab your supporting leg with one hand or with two arms. Take a halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale to bend your front knee a lot until you reach that lunge. Tap your back knee down, bring your hands inside of your feet, and find your lizard pose. Your toes in the back can be tucked or pointed, whatever feels best in your body. And you can stay here or come all the way down to your forearms and your elbows. We're almost there, everyone. I promise. Once you can stay here or find a little bit of an opening of your hip, letting that foot roll to the outer arch and pushing that knee with your right arm. Back to center. Into your hands and sit on the side of your hip, setting up for modified plank. Reach your arm to the side, and on an inhale, lift your hips off the ground. Exhale, come back down. Don't be afraid to go even farther so that you can stretch that outer hip. Inhale, reach up and come back down. Last time, inhale, reach up. This time, go to your plank and find your flow. Down to chaturanga, up to facing dog, and downwards facing dog. Walk your hands and your feet to the center of your mat. Bring your feet wide to the sides of your mat and sit down onto your Malasana Yogi squat. Bring your hands to your chest if this is available to you. You can always grab for your block and sit on your block if this is more comfortable. Remembering that the shape or how this looks, it's very personal. It depends on the bone construction. how your hips are configured. Whenever you're ready, take a good inhale and as slowly as you can, press up into standing pose. Once you're there, bring your feet together. Just shake your legs a little bit. Bring your hands up, reaching towards the ceiling on an inhale, and then bring your right knee up to hip height on an exhale. Take a full inhale in here, and exhale to open your knee to the side. Inhale, come to center. Exhale to open. Inhale, come to center. Exhale to open and find your tree pose. If you can without hands, if that is not available to you, you can always reach for your foot and place it wherever you want to. Your tree pose can always be just by your ankle on the floor, a little bit higher on your calf, or a little bit higher up to your thigh. Bring your hands to your heart center. And I invite you to close your eyes, embrace the wiggles and the falls. It's okay to be scared of falling, but don't let that prevent you from trying. When you are ready, bring that knee forward, stretch it in front, and find your toppling tree. Swing it down and back for your toppling tree. Have a micro bend or a very big bend on your supporting knee if that is a little bit easier on your body. You engage your lower abs. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, reach your hands for the floor, bend your front knee a lot, and step into your plank. Inhale to reach your right arm up to the ceiling and roll onto your feet. Exhale to center. Inhale for other side, left hand up to the ceiling. And come back to center. Inhale in here. Exhale to bend your knees a lot and find your squat malasana one more time. Just a couple of breaths in here. And when you're ready, press against the ground and come all the way up. Bring your feet together, your arms by your side. Inhale, reach your arms up to the ceiling, left leg up to hip height. Inhale in here. Exhale to open your knee to the side. Inhale to the front. Exhale to open. Inhale to the front. Exhale to open and find your tree pose anywhere and everywhere that your body wants to today. Bring your hands to your heart center. To remember, there is always the option to bring that foot to the ground and find your rooted position in here. Close your eyes when you're ready. And even if you're not, whenever you're ready, bring your knee to the front, stretch your leg long to the front, and swing your leg down and back for your toppling tree. Square your hips to the ground. Really flex that back foot a lot. So it's not just some dead weight on the back of your leg. Once you've had enough, take a good inhale in here. Exhale, reach your hands for the ground, bend your front knee, and find your plank. Inhale in here. Exhale for your downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your right leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, Step to the middle of your mat and find yourself on a modified side plank, just like we did before. Either stay here or I invite you to take your full expression of side plank. Another fun things about side plank, you can always go into your tree pose that we just did, so just stay there. When you're ready, come back to your plank and press back to downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your left leg to the ceiling and set up for other side. Bring your leg to the middle of your mat. Find yourself in modified side plank. Do make sure that your hips rotate with you. And your back foot, it can be your toes on the ground or it can be the whole outer side of your foot on the ground. Stay here or find a full side plank. Yeah. Stay here or find your tree pose on that side plank. When you're ready, come back to your plank and flow down to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Tap your knees to the ground. Find your child's pose. Your hands can be long to the front or beside your body. Inhale here, couple of breaths. If your hands are not already in the front of your mat, bring them to the front of your mat. Come out of your child's pose a little bit. Come into your tabletop actually, sorry. And reach your arms slightly farther front, melting your heart down towards the ground for your puppy pose. Your chin can be on the ground, your forehead can be on the ground. You can stay here or bend at your elbows and place the palms of your hand up onto your upper back. And back to your puppy. And find yourself melting towards the floor for your belly shavasana. Place one ear to the ground. Catch your breath or find your breath. Wiggle out your hips. Take any movements or find stillness. When you're ready, bring your forehead towards the ground and reach your arms back beside your legs, palms facing the ground. Listen carefully. Your legs can be together, closer together, or a little bit farther apart. This will also be determined by your bone composition. Roll your shoulders up and out of the ground. Dig your hips onto the ground and reach both arms off the ground and then your forehead off the ground. Take a nice inhale here. Make sure you're looking down towards your mat so that you keep your neck long in the and exhale towards the ground. This time, inhale, reach your legs off the ground and hold. Just the legs. Come back down. Bring on an inhale, both your arms, forehead, legs, everything off the ground. For a full flying bird. Daniel likes to refer to this as sliding penguin. So we'll just call it that. If you are good in here, just stay here. Or if you want to bend at your knees and try to reach for your feet for a full expression of your boat. Bow. I have such a issue. Like I can't say bow. Once you've had enough, slowly melt everything to the ground. Place your opposite ear to the ground. Both breaths in here. Just before we leave the ground, come back to with your forehead to the center and stretch your right arm out long to the side and roll onto that shoulder for your pec stretch. Either roll the head of your shoulder out of the ground or not, but do try not to arch your back. Back to center. And try on the other side. Reach your arm long and then roll onto that shoulder. Back to center. Bring your hands beside your wrist, tuck your toes under, and press into your downward facing dog. Take your time. This will be our last flow of the day. You can modify or stay here on downward facing dog if you prefer. Inhale, roll onto your plank. Exhale very slowly, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your right leg long towards the ceiling and bring your knee behind your wrist for pigeon pose. You can stay here or come all the way down. Do let me know if you prefer any other kinds of stretch and hip openers. You can always sit on your bum and bring one foot on top of the knee and one knee on top of the foot and lean forward. Or you can always strap your needle, whether that be sitting or laying down. Couple more breaths in here. Music just finished. I think that playlist was for a 45. When you're ready, come all the way up. Your back toes under. Lift your back knee and press into your downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your left foot up to the ceiling. Exhale, set up for your pigeon on the other side. You don't even have to take the same pose on both sides. If there is anything that your body doesn't like to do on one side, you can always move on to a different version of a stretch. Here or come all the way to your belly. If your block is nearby, I sometimes like to put it underneath my chest just for a little bit more support, or underneath my forehead. When you're ready, come up from your pigeon. Roll onto that hip and bring both of your legs stretched in the front of your mat. Sit up very tall. Flex your feet a lot and reach for the ceiling on the inhale. And on your exhale, lean forward, fold forward. Roll your back one vertebra at a time into your seated position. Inhale. We'll do this a couple more times on your own breath. Go ahead and find a wavy motion on your spine. One last time, if you're ready. Once you're finished doing your 2 or 3 times, holding there at the bottom, and just let go of everything. Let go of the strength of your thighs, of your toes. And if you happen to have your block nearby, you can always bring it in between your legs and put your forehead in there for a little bit of a passive forward fold. If you've had enough of this, roll all the way up. Then tuck your tailbone down and roll all the way down towards the floor. Bring your feet towards the mat, on the mat, towards your bum. Your hands on the mat. You'll be leveraging from the back of your arms. Take a good inhale in here, and on your exhale, peel your tailbone off the ground into your bridge pose. Make sure your knees are pointing towards the same direction as your toes. And holding here. You want to tuck your tailbone, really pressing that pubic bone towards the ceiling. You will not be moving your heels, but imagine you're retracting your heels towards your bum for an extra little engage of your hamstrings. For those of you who are counting how many times I say hamstrings, I think this is the second time only. And once you had enough, come all the way down, spread your feet wide and let your knees rock towards one another. They can be rocking from side to side. And eventually take your favorite expression of a twist. You can just let your knees rock to one side and stay there. You can go back to your eagle posed legs and find your twist or anything that pleases you today. Remembering that the closer your knees are to your chest, the higher up the twist will happen on your spine. On your next inhale, come back to your center. And on your exhale, go into your other side. Come to center on your next inhale. Bring the soles of your feet together and spread your knees wide into your cobbler's pose, revolve cobblers, revolve butterfly. Bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. Together, let's take an inhale on your belly, onto your ribs, on your chest, and let it all go. Inhale to your belly, ribs, and let it all go. One last time, belly, knee, ribs, chest, and let it all go. Start losing control of your breath. Close your eyes. You can stay here or stretch your legs long into your final resting pose, Shavasana. Your hands can stay on your body or take as much space as you want if it's available to you. Stay here for as long as you want. I thank you for being here, and from the bottom of my heart, namaste. Have a great weekend, everyone.